Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of Chatting Pitch. You're joined with me, Leslie,
and me, Matt. Thank you for rejoining us. As I say at the top of every episode, if this is the first time you've ever listened to one of our episodes, welcome to Chatting Pitch, the podcast that is about chatting and pitches. What sort of pitches? Not football pitches. No, not rugby pitches. It's all about movie pitches.
That's right. And we're not talking about pitchforks. We're not talking about music pitches.
We're not talking about the music magazine pitchfork.
Which is also about music. Yeah. Mm. What did you say just now?
I said it all comes together.
All comes together.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why, but I thought you said Rammstein. The band.
Hi, this is the podcast Chatting Pitch. No, as you might think, no, we don't talk about Rammstein.
Yeah, what we're going to be talking about this week.
Sorry, I'm just sorting out my mic here. We talked a little bit about it last week. We're going to be looking at Trap because we've both seen Trap now and we can review it.
Yeah.
But we're going to pitch some ideas as well. So don't worry, we're not just doing straight reviews like those other podcasts.
Yeah.
Have you heard there was a guy on Twitter who posted something where he used balloons to make the letters?
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a VFX thing or actual balloons.
I've seen it. Yeah. Does he put the balloons on the wall?
Yeah. And then someone made I guess like a meme or like a parody version where the message was just like something silly.
Okay.
And then he was doing something like he was going to threaten to take them to court because he originated the bubble.
He's patented
the bubble letters. He's patented
bubble letters on the wall.
Yeah. So I thought that we could patent both chatting and pitches, and then anytime anyone has a chat, they have to pay us 50p.
Yeah,
that's how the law works, right?
Yeah.
You can tell I studied law.
We do have the official Chatting Pitch lawyer.
Yeah, my wife. And every time I ask a law question that involves me not just asking a question, if ever I say, so does it do this, this, and this? And she'll look at me and go, it's not quite how it works. And then she'll tell me that. Although, did you know there's a law where if you stay on someone's grounds for, I think it's 12 years, and I think you aren't asked to leave or anything like that, or it's something crazy. If you stay there long enough, the house becomes yours.
Squatters' rights.
But it's something mad, like 12 years or something.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what you're saying is if I, beknownst to you, hide in your basement or fridge or whatever for 12 whole years, does that house become mine or does the fridge become mine?
I guess if the fridge is listed as a domicile. I'd have to ask the Chatting Pitch lawyer. But I think it's also, it would have to be abandoned. So you'd have to be...
Does your Chatting Pitch lawyer, sorry, I mean your wife. Does she
Chatting Pitch lawyer first, wife second.
Yeah,
go on.
Wife second. Do you think, does she go to court and do the whole objection?
No. So that was something interesting I've learned. Maybe we could do this one law fact per episode. But this will be the last one, we promise.
Thrilling.
In America, it's you're just a lawyer. Mm-hmm. So you go to court when you need to go to court and you work in an office whereas in England, it's two separate jobs.
Oh.
So you're a solicitor. You're a solicitor, which is what my wife is. Mm-hmm. Or you go into court, in which case you're called a barrister. Not a barista.
A barrister.
Okay,
anyway,
so that's Matthew's law fact for the week.
Cue the jingle.
Cue the law jingle.
Cue the law jingle. Do-do-do. Law aside, I guess this movie kind of deals with law a little bit. They have the arm of the law.
Yeah. Leslie just showed me his bicep. That was a strange moment. He's doing a Van Damme.
The long arm of the law.
The long arm of the law. The Stretch Armstrong of the law.
Whenever I hear that phrase, I just think of Danny DeVito in Friends.
Yes.
The stripper cop.
He was the long arm of the law.
What is it? What he says something about like, I've got a concealed weapon, and then he looks all shy.
Yeah.
Get ready for the long arm of the law, and he does this thing with his arm.
Yeah,
I thought he was very good in that episode.
he's so good. He's very underrated.
Yes.
Just generally.
And he likes peaches. Do you think he likes peaches off screen, and they just wrote that into the show?
That, or he has had to eat so many peaches now that he's just grown used to them.
It's just become one big peach.
Because that's the theory, isn't it? That if you try something maybe half a dozen times, eventually your body just goes, oh, fine, you like it now then, I guess.
Yeah, it's called Stockholm Syndrome, isn't it? For the food.
Yeah, because you have to stock enough food for the syndrome.
In your home.
You have to
stock in your body.
You have to stock enough food in your home for the syndrome to work. So Stockholm Syndrome is when you eat enough. I'm sure that's right.
That's like a proper Charlie Kelly,
yeah.
Charlie Kelly type logic thinking, yeah.
Yeah. I think that one of my favorite rug pulls is the episode where it looks like he's about to win the court case with his bird law.
Yeah.
And then just at the last minute, he says, ask that bird. And then the guy's like, what do you mean?
Wasn't Guillermo del Toro in that movie?
He was, yeah. He was
in that episode.
He was Pappy McPoyle with the big top hat.
And the bird inside.
And the bird inside, yeah.
Very good.
Damn his eyes.
I like the idea that they just got him in to play a character because he was just a fan of the show.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd worked with Charlie Day on Pacific Rim as well.
Oh, is that around the same sort of time?
I think so, because Charlie Day played one of the scientists, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
With alongside Bern Gorman.
And is Bern Gorman that guy who's the British guy?
He sort of, yeah. And then he turns up later in the Always Sunny episode where Charlie gets super smart.
Is that the one where he thinks he can speak another language?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he makes the invention where spiders can talk to cats.
And then it turns out everything he's been saying is a lie.
It was a Placebo Domingo. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So Trap, yes, it deals with the law.
I mean, it deals with the law.
It's a real fable here, because it turns out this movie, it really teaches you something, that murder is wrong. And I think that's the main reason why Shyamalan wanted to make that movie.
Is it Shyamalan or Shyamalan?
Shyamalan, I thought.
I always thought it was Shyamalan. Like the Y was like a quick.
Oh, this is not a good start. We don't even know how to pronounce the guy's name.
It's okay. I'll call him Shyamalan, and you can call him Shyamalan. And that won't be confusing at all. Have you got spiders coming through your ceiling? Is that why you're like, they're in the walls?
No, my wife came through to advise me on some of my law knowledge that I've been given.
Okay.
Is it true that murder is illegal? Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. It is illegal to kill and illegal
to murder as well.
But it's not illegal to be killed.
Oh, that'd be a bit harsh, wouldn't it? I sentence you, and you're just propped up. I sentence you to death.
Yeah, this movie, I think I liked it. But there were a lot of moments in the movie where I felt, oh, this is quite silly, isn't it? Did you think that?
I think there are bits where this is a bit silly, but I enjoyed it.
But it works. It was what I like to say, good old horror schlock.
Yes. It was verging on sort of B-movie-esque tones with really, really like high-level production values.
That's right.
Do you sort of mean that the bits where we'll do proper spoilers later, but do you mean the sort of that element of where he keeps escaping?
Yeah, so a lot of like...
Because I enjoyed that. Every time he escaped, I was like, yes, he's done it again.
But that makes you the killer, though, because you're rooting for the protagonist.
This is the really interesting thing. That I think that the fact that it has B-movie overtones means that you don't take it super seriously.
Yeah.
And I think my theory is that if you made it as a sort of straighter, not silly film, it would be a horror, and you would be rooting for the police to be getting him, and you would be ruining every moment where he escaped. Whereas I think the B movie overtones give you a bit of distance between the film and the viewer, and it means that you can watch it as a piece of entertainment as opposed to a piece of tension.
Well, I didn't want to think too much about it. I've seen my fair share of movies that get beyond ridiculous towards the end. I will admit, one of my guilty pleasures are watching romance thrillers where it's like it was the perfect couple, but then a strange man enters and he becomes the new the love interest, and there's this big love triangle. And at the end of all those movies, it all ends up in a fist fight and someone's trying to stab somebody.
Oh, okay.
And that's almost
and it's the married couple, and the mysterious stranger is like, why you stop it? I just wanted to play Boggle.
I think there was one that didn't Beyonce do one where she started doing a big fist fight with the lady from did you ever watch any of the Final Destination movies?
I saw the
first two.
First one, I think. Which is the one where the deaths happen on a highway?
That was number 2.
That was number 2. So I've seen that one.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the one where it's like someone looking for their wedding ring and they look out of a window and a ladder falls on their head or something.
That was number 2 as well.
Like into their eye.
So all those are the same movie.
Right.
Number 2. And I guess incidentally, that movie is very... it's known for its hyper gore and body horror, isn't it? Because that's what people go to watch. This movie
like that bit I just mentioned is very over the top death.
Right. So in a way, if you apply that logic from those type of movies, people would be rooting for the killer to escape because it's not the right thing to do, but because the narrative portrays it that way, we kind of secretly want him to. Kind of like how everyone secretly wants all the people from Final Destination to have gruesome deaths. You know?
Yeah, that's part of the enjoyment.
That's part of the enjoyment.
I mean, people
doesn't make you a psychopath, does it?
No, all the murders that you do makes you a psychopath.
That's right. Did you enjoy the movie?
I thought you were going to say, did you enjoy the murders that you did? Because you seemed a bit bummed afterwards.
We need to get the barista in here.
We have. She's making a tea.
Is our chatting pitch lawyer a barista or a solicitor?
She's a solicitor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's also a barista.
I mean, we did work together in a coffee shop, so
part-time barista.
She was a barista and a solicitor, but not a barrister.
Not a barrister. Okay. No. What about a?
You trying to find words that rhyme with barrister?
Banister. Seller. She sell banisters. Yeah.
If only she did. Maybe that's what she'll do afterwards in retirement.
Isn't that a character from Game of Thrones?
What, Bannister?
Tony Bannister?
I don't know. Big Gary Bannister, his name is. Solid. You can lean on him whenever you want.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you enjoyed the movie as a whole.
I did. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of this year. I know it's I know it's very polarizing. So I think that's the reaction a lot of people are going to give, that it's, oh my God, I hated it. It was so over the top and silly.
Yeah.
But then you get people like me that go, I loved it because it was so over the top and silly. I think
it's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
I really enjoyed that. Yes, it did have those B movie overtones, but I do think that in a way, you can see it in how he casts his daughter in a very prominent role.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is set around a dad who, you know, if you look at the film minus the bits where he's a serial killer, he's actually quite a good dad.
Yeah.
I do think this is Shyamalan trying to talk about family.
Yeah. Well, I think it was very obvious.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
And it's almost, I don't know if it's him commenting on how maybe he sees himself treating his family, that because there are a lot of directors. Spielberg has done the same as well, where he's had scenes that are where his protagonist is maybe apologizing to a loved one for being away too much on their job or something. And it's almost like
flies away in a spaceship.
Yeah, just like Spielberg does. Yeah, all the way to Mexico, just to shoot that movie.
Yeah.
And I liked that you had. For me, it really worked that you had the silly bits, but you also had these bits that were kind of emotional. I don't know if you enjoyed that mix.
Which is it a spoiler alert in terms of which parts were emotional? Are you talking about the final act?
I just mean generally where he seemed to be just saying this is what it's like being a director.
A killer.
Yeah. This is what. And I'm sorry. There were bits where Josh Hartnett's character was talking about I don't know if he was saying the hunger, but like the need to go out and do what he does. And he says, I don't know when. There's a line where he talks about, I don't know when this need will come along. It just happens when it happens. And it's almost like you could say the same for anyone who's being creative, but in a job that takes you away from your family.
Like, imagine talking to a serial killer. It's like, I just don't know when I want to kill, but it will happen. And then some sort of creative is just trying to relate to him. And he's like, yeah, I do. I get that all the time with writing a script or writing a movie. Anyway, my cab's here. I gotta go.
I don't know when the hunger will overtake me. Some guy just walks past. Hey, that guy's gonna get it.
So
were you in that camp of loving it or hating it? Or
I was in the camp of liking it a lot. I don't think I loved it as much as you did, but I think I liked it a lot. I think there are certain times where I kind of felt like, I'm not sure about the way the story is going.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how on the nose or how convenient things were supposed to be to serve the narrative. But at the same time, I could tell that it wasn't supposed to be 100% serious. I mean, for goodness sake, there was a shot where it was just his eyes and you could see them kind of do this it twitches. And I thought, okay, they're doing that.
With the red filter.
With the red filter, yeah. And that's when I knew it wasn't trying to take it as seriously as other people do. I think the main complaint is a lot of people were saying the first half is much better than the second half. And people were saying after events happened halfway through, the rest of it fell apart. I don't necessarily agree with that 100%, but I do feel like the first part definitely was stronger without getting into spoiler territory. Do you agree with that, or do you think the whole movie works as a...
I think I'm with you that the first half is a little bit stronger for me, but I did love the whole thing. I think the second half is just, it's different.
Okay.
A lot more location changes. It's a lot faster paced because the first half is him. He's almost like a snake creeping in the grass. He doesn't want to try anything in case it goes wrong. So he's trying to find the perfect avenue. Whereas the second half, after certain events happen, he's just got to go for it.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to hide because stuff has happened.
It's interesting. There's some sort of like, there's almost some parallels to movies like American Psycho, where you're following that main protagonist and you know that everything he's doing is wrong and it kind of ends up falling off the rails towards the end. It's not quite as psychological as that. I think this one, Trap, is a bit more straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm ready to talk about spoilers if you are.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what rating would you give it?
Oh,
This is a straight up full.
not a full, but I'm gonna give it a chatting. I'm gonna say a chatting pit. Yeah, pretty darn good.
Okay. By that logic, I think I'll probably give it a chatting pie.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed it a lot, but I don't think I loved it. There were moments though. I did feel like, oh man, I felt like Martin Scorsese, you know, in that meme where he's like, "This is cinema." But
is that where he's got the 3D glasses and the bucket of popcorn, and he's in a 4DX chair and he's shaking it around?
The bucket of popcorn is shaped like that Dune bucket.
Yeah,
with the worm in it.
And he's shaking it around like Mr. Bean does when he's watching that scary movie.
Well, in the Bean movie.
No, in the TV show. Did you ever see the TV show?
Oh, in the TV show. I did watch the TV show. There's only, I always forget, the TV show only had 6 episodes or something like that?
Something quite small.
Very, very short-lived.
Yeah.
Or at least it was just one season. But yeah, which one do you mean? He's in the cinema scene.
I think he's on a date, I think.
Okay.
There's a woman who keeps popping up every so often in some of the sketches
as the date, or
as sort of almost the girlfriend, but she's just she's always on the verge of being like, this is enough. This is just so this is he's taken her out to a horror movie, but he just can't handle it.
And what you're saying is this is what Martin Scorsese is, and that version of Martin Scorsese is what I was watching. Trap. We've gone full up. We've unraveled the levels in Inception, and we've come back to the forefront now.
We've unlocked the bean circle.
And the bean circle was shaped like a little coffee bean. So let's get into spoilers. I thought some of the stuff let's talk about the silliness.
Okay.
I found it quite convenient that, I mean, maybe it was the point. Do you feel like it was the point? Because there were times when, say for instance, that scene where they are in the back rooms and the SWAT team are facing one direction, and there's a guy talking to them in the opposite direction, and they're saying the serial killer could be anyone.
Yeah,
he could look like tall or whatever. He could have whatever, but we have a profile of him.
Long nose. 3 legs.
He's all wood. He's got strings. No, he's got no strings.
He's got no strings.
And he's got a very high-pitched voice, and he keeps dancing.
Yeah.
And his father is Tom Hanks.
I'm just imagining the person playing the profiler just over the radio in that English voice. We're looking for a puppet.
No strings.
Looking for a puppet, but he's got no strings.
Yeah.
He's going to try and get hold of some strings.
So yeah, that one scene I was talking about, you can see him just walking up behind, and he gets so close to them that nobody, even to the point where he starts squeezing through, it's like, oh, excuse me, I just need to get to the coffee machine. Not one person questioned, do you think that might be him?
But I think just the fact that he wasn't afraid. Yeah. I really liked that sequence because it also showed an element of it showed another part of his character that he was, I wouldn't even say foolhardy. He was confident. At that point in the movie, he was confident that he was going to get away. He just needed to find it.
He's a little slithery snake, as you described.
Yes. Yeah. A slithery snake. Yes.
Yeah. So,
he's going to crawl around the floor like a slithery snake. Josh Hartnett's on the floor and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna get up." She knows.
I think
Like the
in
bit
the
with the
pitch
fire
section
alarm.
we could do it so that like the serial killer was a snake, and the profiler is David Attenborough, and speaking into the tannoy system. He is a slithery snake. That's as far as I can take the joke. I don't know where else to go.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
People can work it out. Chatting pitch, where you get to make your own jokes.
It's an interactive episode.
Send them in and we'll read them out next week in a funny voice.
If anyone does send it in, I'd be very surprised. But if you don't, then don't be disappointed that you didn't get onto the show. So, moving on. What else was there?
That was Leslie promising both that we have no fans, and that if you are a fan, we will probably disappoint you because.
So I want to talk about the ending. The spoke and the wheel.
Loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I just thought it was in keeping with the silliness. It wasn't too silly. It wasn't too serious.
Yeah. I just don't know how he got it.
It was also that moment where he's in the police van.
Yeah.
And it was just showing he's not going to change.
Yeah.
That was the absolute.
Once a killer, always a killer.
Yeah.
Once a killer, always a killer.
Once a killer, always a killer.
Are you hunting for wabbits?
Yeah.
By any chance? Yeah.
We're hunting for Josh Hartnett.
There is another scene. Sorry, you wanted to carry on.
No, that's fine.
There was more to the joke.
I just like doing it on my phone.
I know you do. There was another part where he could teleport. Remember when he was in the car and then there was a whole crowd of people surrounding him?
Yeah.
And somehow he managed to get outside the car with nobody noticing him wearing different clothes.
Yeah. Maybe what he did was he changed his clothes in the car, opened the door, then he changed his clothes again.
Yeah.
Because people would have seen him come out. And then people would have seen him get out of the car, so he changed his clothes again. And then people would have seen him step onto the pathway, the pavement, so then he changed his clothes again. And then he would have been pushing past the crowd, so he changed his clothes again. Yeah. And by the time he got to the back of the crowd, he was back in his original outfit again.
Yeah. He gets into the shower, and then he changes his clothes again. He goes to bed. He changes his clothes again.
And then he gets up the next day, and then he changes his clothes again.
Does he have any other range? Or is that's
what, on my phone?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
I think he goes up and down a little bit. But not much.
Can you do any Tommy Wiseau lines in Emma Fudd's voice?
If we all loved each other, the world would be a better place.
We all know we have to do a pitch for Trap, where it's Elmer Fudd.
Where he's the profiler and he's after the wabbit.
But the wabbit is dressed up like a snake.
Or it's like over the headphones.
Yeah.
And you can see Bugs Bunny's just about to get dressed into like someone's skirt or something, and then he's like, according to his profile, he will dress as a woman. That's how he ends every time.
You love that. You love that bit, don't you? That's your favorite bit.
I do. It's the pause. It's the pause and then the laugh.
How are you doing it? Are you closing your nasal cavities? Is it a bit more of a nasal thing?
This is actually my real voice.
Oh. I just put on this voice for the podcast.
Yeah, this is the voice that I actually disguise it.
It's actually quite painful to do.
This is me closing my. I'm holding my nose right now.
Yeah.
And then I let go of my nose, and then I hold my nose again.
Well, I know what you're dressing up for Halloween. Can you have you as Elmer Fudd for Halloween?
Right.
Your lawyer / wife as Bugs Bunny.
Right.
And Freddy can be like either the carrot or the gun.
Well, we
That'd be
said
cool.
before he looks like Danny from The Shining, so we'll just dress him up as that.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna be like, it would be funny if he dressed up like a musket, and then he could just be like bang, 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 like in your hands.
I'll just pick him up every so often and just hold him horizontal.
Perfect.
Do it, son. We're hunting for mummy. October's coming up, mate. What are you going to dress as?
I'm not going to be in the country. I'm going to be on holiday during Halloween.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm going to Asia.
Is that how they say it? Welcome to Asia.
Can we get back to the
yeah,
review?
Sure. So what did you think of the ending then? Because I really liked it. I thought it was really keeping in tone with the rest of the movie.
I thought it was quite hard to believe he got that spoke from the bike, but at the same time, I can understand why they did it, because the whole movie was built on contrivances and just very convenient plot points. But I still enjoyed it. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most was Josh Hartnett's performance.
He was very good.
I thought he did a really good job. And like, there were moments where I couldn't tell whether or not he was a bad actor or a great actor.
Okay.
And then I decided it was great because obviously, like, I've seen him be great in multiple movies. But the fact that he was directed to be a certain way.
There's Josh Hartnett, part 1. Josh Hartnett Strikes Back. Josh Hartnett, Here We Go Again.
Yeah. Josh Hartnett 2. Josh Hartnetter.
Josh Hartnett Harder. That was the fifth. That was number 5.
Josh Harder.
Josh Harder.
So there are times where I just thought, like, okay, his performance is really hokey, but it kind of like it made sense for him to act that certain way, because him being a psychopath / sociopath, he's pretending to act like a real person.
And it fit the movie, I thought.
It fit the movie. Like, I quite liked it when he was talking to the guy who was selling the T-shirts.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, what's going on here? What are the policemen doing outside? And he seemed a bit like C-3PO. But in a good way, you know. Yeah, I really liked it when he was
These are not the droids you're looking for. There you go. There's a crossover. They're trying to find the droids.
One of my favorite parts is when the trapdoor opens in the middle of the thing, and then Josh Hartnett he's just like, "Hey, what's under there? There might be some really cool costumes. Let's go in." And the daughter's like, "What?"
I want to stay here and watch this person sing. What are you talking about, you madman?
That is so cool. And I just love how he was just...
He was so desperate. He was so desperate.
Yeah.
I think that's what I liked about the conversation with the T-shirt guy, that desperation. And also there was almost like this extra layer of manic energy whenever he was talking to that other child's mum.
Yeah.
Just trying to get rid of her. She is ultimately one of the biggest hurdles he has to jump over at certain points.
The annoying mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a major villain and she doesn't even realize. Well, not a villain, an antagonist.
Have you ever come across parents like that before?
What?
Who tried to confront you about their children?
No, not really, because my son's quite young, so they pretty much all get on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked my son what he's done with his day, and he's like, I don't know. He's just forgotten.
I don't know. Some man in a black suit just held a pen up in my face, and that's the last thing I remember.
And I just go, that's what you did yesterday.
Do you think you'll ever show your son Men in Black?
Oh, there's a ton of films.
And then just one day, just bring a pen and like, I just tell him random stuff.
So show him the movie where he's young enough to believe like this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Or I can convince him. Because he's still at the age where he says like, "Oh, is that real or not?" Like he still checks those things. So I could convince him Men in Black is real.
E.T. is very real.
I could convince him Men in Black is real, and then I could use a pen.
No,
Daddy, no.
Were there any movies for you as a child that you believed was real?
Oh,
go.
I can't remember. I think it's a very, very young age when that happens. I remember being very broken up watching The Lion King.
Oh, the cartoon.
As a little kid, yeah.
Oh. But that's more like an emotional reaction. I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like, obviously you didn't believe singing and dancing lions were real.
No, I mean, last July when I watched Longlegs, yeah, he's real. He's real. There somewhere.
Let me in now. What's that thing he does?
Yes, with the hands. Where at first I thought there's no way he's not going to do that like weird pilot thing that they do with the pilot goggles.
Oh, sorry, I haven't watched it yet.
Don't lie.
I think we don't lie. Oh yeah, sorry, no.
Oh, you meant that Longlegs.
No, I watched the other one, Short Legs, the prequel.
You watched Josh Longlegs. That was part 7.
the Josh Hartnett universe.
Yeah,
the prequel,
or just the Josh universe, because Josh Brolin got cast in number 8, didn't he? He replaced him, so it's the Josh universe.
How many Joshes are there in Hollywood?
So I was trying to think. Is it like the Chris's, where you've got Chris Pratt, Pine, Hemsworth?
I can name you 3 Joshes. There's Josh. There's Josh Hartnett.
Mm-hmm.
There's Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one that was in the Hunger Games, Josh Hutcherson.
Okay, yeah. The Hutch Man.
Now I've ran out.
Old Rabbit Hutch.
Is there a Josh Hemsworth?
Probably.
Or Josh Skarsgård?
Well, didn't we say before that there was Big Billy Hemsworth that they locked in the attic? They just gave him.
What?
the hidden Hemsworth brother.
What?
Big Billy Hemsworth.
Or like Hugo from Simpsons.
Yeah. We've got your bucket of fish heads here.
Fish heads.
Big Billy, no! I want to be an Avenger.
Was there anything else you want to talk about with the
in terms of the review?
Yeah, I think that's about it, really. I mean,
I just think it was a perfect bit of teamwork. Shyamalan
solid movie. Oh, one more thing I wanted to ask.
Go on.
How did you think of the daughter, Lady Raven? Like in terms of as an actress or singer or both?
Yeah, I have seen some negative reviews of her performance. I don't know where that comes from. I thought she was good. I thought she was really good.
I think I can see where that came from, because if you compare her acting chops next to someone like Josh Brolin, or Josh Hutcherson,
or Josh Hemsworth,
the extra brother from the attic,
Big Billy Hemsworth. He's actually a really good actor. It's just physically he's not perfect. He actually looks pretty much like an ordinary guy, but
you give him 10 fish heads and he's like the next Brando. You know? But you got to keep topping that up because it runs out real quick. Bring in the fish bucket. And there's like runners.
We gotta get another take.
The runners like tripping over, fish heads going everywhere. Hurry up! We only have enough time before he has to go back to his attic. Yeah, so I personally think she's a great singer. She looks the part with Lady Raven, but when you compare her to the other actors and actresses around her, she definitely is one of the weaker actors, in my opinion.
But I would say it's all relative, though.
It is all relative, yeah. But didn't you think like the actress who played the little girl was great as well? I thought she did a really good job. I don't know what her name is.
Ariel Donahue
Ariel
plays
remember Little Mermaid?
I thought you were doing Brando again.
Oh,
Ariel. She was really, really great. Yeah, I think the whole film falls apart if she's not good.
Yeah, she kind of disappears though towards the end, doesn't she?
Towards the end,
towards the third act, she kind of goes, and then she comes back for like a split scene, which is kind of like very very sad for her, but then not very sad for him because he's a killer. I mean, you know how they say you have to separate the art from the artist. Like, can you do that if they're a killer?
Yeah, there's a limit, isn't there? If you made like a Burn After Reading, but then murdered someone.
Yeah.
You know, but then if you make A Serious Man and then murder someone, well, then maybe the line moves.
Just like a line that moves. Speaking of a line that moves, let's talk about pitching. You had an idea. What was it?
Oh, I thought we could pitch Trap, but in different locations.
That's right. That's right.
Same maybe location character? Scouts this week. Yeah. Same character, same general gist.
General gist. Okay. What about?
So he's stuck in a place with lots of people.
Okay. Trap, but he's stuck in a big Tesco.
So he's got a trolley.
Yeah.
Has he got a smaller kid so then she could be in the little trolley seat?
Yes. Well, yes, or it could just be like the same kid, but she likes to ride in the trolley. You know?
Okay. Oh, so she's in the trolley itself. Yeah.
He's in the trolley itself. Yeah. Here's the catch, though. He forgot his wallet, so he can't pay.
Oh man!
But he has to look like he's bought something because if he goes past those sensors, it'll go beep 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 beep.
Oh, so you're not saying he's a murderer? It's just he's
he's
forgotten his. Oh, he is also a murderer.
He is also a murderer, but you know how he's a murderer in the concert, and he can't get out because everyone has to do security checks. Now, the only security they've got are, the guy at the front sitting at the desk.
Yeah,
but also the sensors that you haven't paid for something. But maybe this time, this whole big Tesco's a trap. It's all a trap.
Yeah.
And outside, there's a bunch of security men, and then we'll be like, we're being extra careful today because one of you guys are a shoplifter / serial killer.
And how do they know? Well, because he left a receipt that said that he received 500 Nectar points. So they knew that he shopped at Sainsbury's.
Oh,
so instead of just the beepers and then the security guy who just ignores the beepers and looks up and goes, they actually have police there at the ready. And he's forgotten his wallet, which is an extra. That's an added wrinkle, I think.
That's an added wrinkle, yeah. Maybe does he have his phone?
Maybe he has his phone, but it's there are only patches of signal.
Yeah, because everyone knows that when
fruit and veg absorbs mobile phone signal.
Wi-Fi, yeah.
That's why people pretend that a banana is a phone. That's where the old gag comes from, because it takes all your Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And that's why they say some fruits have electrolytes.
Because of the electricity
that it absorbs.
From the Wi-Fi.
At what point does this come into the movie?
When he has to barrel past 8 security guards, so he eats some raspberries with extra electricity. And he reaches a critical mass.
Yeah.
Just charges them down, just bowls them over.
This movie should just be called Tesco, right? Or Tesco Extra. Trap Extra.
Trap Extra. Extra Trap.
And the prequel, Trap Express.
He just wanted a naan bread.
Yeah. Little did he know.
Little did he know that he was a serial killer.
Little did he know.
Jesus.
So, okay. we've got the premise. How does he get out?
Oh, how does he get out of the big supermarket?
Yeah. So maybe his daughter came because she wanted.
I'm just imagining the equivalent of the trap door. So maybe there's someone who like leaves the door open for the back fridges, and he's like,
Yeah.
I bet you can find some cool beef in there. She's like, Dad, what are you talking about? And he's like, I bet you can find loads of chicken.
That we can.
So eyes open wide.
Yeah, his eyes are just like wide open.
He's doing that like the sideways thing with his thumb.
Yeah,
like,
with his thumb.
Yeah. Chicken.
So what is the daughter here for? What is she? Because obviously the daughter was at the concert to watch the show.
She heard Lady Raven was playing.
A pop-up show.
Show in
a Tesco.
In a supermarket, yeah.
Okay. I think
maybe she's just there because this could be another added wrinkle. Maybe she's there. Maybe he's still a good dad, cares for her, but she was like foisted on him because like the mum and the son had to go somewhere else. And it had to be them too. So it was like, oh, I thought I was going to go shopping by myself, but I've got to take my daughter with me.
Right.
So it's like, I do love you, but I don't want you here.
We have that character in Trap that
the T-shirt seller,
guy,
is someone who is actually giving out free samples.
I was going to say he worked at the meat section.
Oh, the deli counter. Yeah. Let's make him the deli guy.
And he's like, you heard the butcher? He works around back. But apparently there's a serial killer on the loose. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
This reimagining also acts as a parody of Trap.
Yeah,
so I think we could go throw some gags in there.
Yeah. He's like, what sort of pizza do you want? And he's like, oh, I need a small. He's like, well, I'll tell you what, as you've been so polite, I'm gonna go into the back and I'm gonna roll out some fresh dough and I'll make you a small pizza.
Actually, in fact, you want to come with me?
Come back in 10 minutes.
Because that's not suspicious.
Yeah. Well, we're making this guy a bit of a weirdo now. The deli counter guy's cool. Yeah, he's all right.
Okay, sure. What? Who else have we got? We've got the
profiler.
We've got the profiler. We've got the mum. That's annoying. Maybe she could just be the exact same character. She just comes in and just like.
Did you find her annoying then?
Well, no, for him it was.
Oh, for him.
That's why. Yeah. No, I didn't find her annoying. I just thought like the narrative painted her out to be annoying. Sure. Yeah, maybe she could be a part of it.
Yeah.
So they bump. The trolleys bump head to head, and it's like, oh,
right.
Didn't know you were here.
Yeah.
And then both daughters are in the trolley, and they don't want to look at each other.
Yeah.
It's a little bit awkward. There's not much else to add on that, really.
No, we would just do the same scenes, beat for beat.
Beat for beat, yeah.
They just have trolleys. Maybe you could have a bit where like he tries to get away, and she blocks him with the trolley. And you get that harsh clanging sound. It's like, ooh, tension.
And all their produce like fly out of the trolley.
How quick is he going?
At least 20 miles an hour. No, he was doing that thing, when you go wee, and you you hold your arms on it and you pretend like you're flying.
Sure.
Or what I like to do is go backwards and pretend like I'm moonwalking.
Backwards? Yeah. You're mad.
You never go backwards?
Or doing a sick drift around the corner.
That's right.
As long as you don't have too much in your trolley, that's possible.
I'm trying to think of if there's any other features in a big Tesco that could be a nice plot convenience for how he just keeps, this slithery snake keeps getting away with it. Yeah. Like, how they've got scanners.
He's going to buy tender stem broccoli. That's what his profile says.
Yeah.
Because of the way he organizes the dead bodies to look like tender stem broccolis. We know he's not going to buy normal broccoli.
Does he have a little intercom that he stole?
Yeah, because they've got those in supermarkets. They walk around with them, don't they?
Yeah. Does he have the scan as you go like little thing? What could that be used for?
I think so, because he's got a Nectar card, hasn't he?
Which doesn't work at a Tesco.
Yeah. He's gone all confused. What an idiot.
This isn't my Tesco club card.
Maybe he could blind someone with it, or well.
Oh, that could be the whole part with, when he puts the bottles in the deep fryer and it explodes.
Oh, yeah.
He just goes beep and beeps somebody who works at the...
my eyes slightly hurt now.
She works at the sample stand, giving out free samples, and just out of nowhere, he beeps and then pushes someone down the stairs.
He beeps.
Down the escalator, rather.
Why? Just because.
I mean, going back to the actual movie, surely someone saw him push that lady down the stairs.
I guess, I mean, if you're in a crowded environment like that, do you pay attention? I don't know.
But there were cameras, weren't there? And they showed there were cameras like being set up.
Yeah, I guess
around the facility.
I guess he's juggling whether the likelihood of someone looking at that camera at that exact moment.
Okay.
What are the odds? He's playing the odds.
He's the smartest serial killer around. So smart that he managed to rack up all his Nectar points and bring them to a Tesco.
So smart that he was able to get £5 off dishwasher fluid.
If anyone doesn't know, who's not from the UK, Nectar points are from a different supermarket and they don't work at a Tesco.
Yeah, so Nectar card is it's like a loyalty card. We should have just said loyalty card.
Loyalty card. Let's just say,
this whole time, people who live outside the UK are like, why do they keep talking about honey points or something?
Yeah, Sainsbury's has Nectar points. Tesco has Club Card points. Asda has Asda points, I think. Don't know what Morrison's have. They got Ant and Dec.
Yeah, Ant and Dec points. Where else could we set it though? I'm trying to think of different ideas. Trap.
Well, we've got Asda. We've got Sainsbury's.
Objection, Your Honour.
We've got got Little Tesco.
Objection, Your Honour. Leslie's an idiot.
Would it work in a... Yeah, none taken. Do you think it could work in a courtroom? Not really, no.
Nah, it's not big enough space. What about an NFL game?
I was thinking football game, yeah.
Oh, he could do getting dressed up as one of the players.
Yeah.
So then he's in the game.
Where's his daughter?
She's the running back. She's also in the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is the ball anything? Like, what if there's something in the ball? The master key to escape the NFL stadium is in the ball.
It's in the middle of the pitch. If you push the master key into the middle of the pitch, the whole pitch opens up.
Opens up like Zurg's lair from Toy Story 2.
And then he's like, "Hey, do you want to go down there? I bet it's really cool."
There's some really cool costumes in that. Some great shoulder pads, helmets. Yeah.
And she's like, "What are you doing? I'm here to watch the Eagles."
That's still my favorite part of the movie.
I'm here to watch the Ravens. There you go.
The Ravens.
I'm just here to watch the Baltimore Ravens.
Versus...
I'll just throw the Cowboys in there because I'm a Cowboys fan, so...
Yeah.
And then you could have, we know he'll dress up as the quarterback. And because of his profiling, we know, and he's about to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He'll always throw a Hail Mary. And he's like, oh man, I better throw something else. I better run instead. And that's how he gets his cover.
Instead, he runs to the fire alarm and pulls it. Because that's not what the profiler said.
Yeah, it's not what the profile said. Could he hide? You know, when the football teams win and they have those big tubs of a Gatorade or whatever.
Yeah.
Could he hide in that? You could have a shot where he just slowly emerges.
There's an opportunity to do something.
Two players walking past. Oh, I've heard there's a killer around. Yeah, he's called the Butcher. He's no respect. Oh. And then he pops his head up after they leave.
But how long is he in there for? Because...
a good half an hour.
Okay.
His fingers are wrinkly.
What if he really needed to go toilet? What would he do then? Would he pee in the Gatorade? I
think he would pee in the Gatorade. I think he's a guy who's... he's practical.
And there's the really gross moment where some dum-dum comes up and is like, "Schmorgy-dorig, I want a drink." And he drinks the Gatorade.
Yeah. Tastes like yellow.
And then Josh Hart... And then it cuts to Josh Hartnett, and it's that close-up shot of him with the red filter and his eyes.
The red filter is from the red Gatorade. There you go. Yeah. But the tension comes because the players keep filling up their little paper cups.
Yeah,
and eventually, the level is going to reveal that he's there.
Yeah. And as it's revealing, everyone's like, "Oh, this Gatorade tastes like piss." Something wrong with your Gatorade? Yeah, something wrong with mine.
Tastes like murderous piss.
Tastes like a killer's piss.
New limited edition Gatorade, murderous piss.
So how does he get out?
How does he get out? He takes the ball and he just runs through for a touchdown, and everyone's screaming, but he just keeps going.
He just keeps running past the security guards.
And the SWAT guys realize it's him, and they go to converge. But then all the referees running away because they're like throwing their flags on the floor, and they block the SWAT guys, and that's how he escapes.
But is there also is it just him running, or is there also a little one running because the daughter's playing? I
suppose we have to decide: is the daughter still in the crowd, or?
I like to. There's a nice image of just a big football player and a small football player just running in tandem.
Josh Hartnett and his kid.
Yeah. And his kid, just dressed up incognito in football costumes. Yeah,
and they're both running.
They're both running. But that's the rest of the movie.
And the rest of the movie plays out with them in full football gear, like the pads and
the
helmet.
Great. Any other ideas?
I think we've exhausted it.
I think we've I don't know any other idea. There's plenty of other big crowded places, but not a lot that are kind of just contained. You know, you got football stadiums.
A trip to a farm, and he has to dress up as a sheep.
What about Disneyland?
Oh yeah, theme park.
Theme park would be good. Trap at a theme. You know, if M. Night Shyamalan really wanted to milk this into a franchise, he should just do Trap.
Disney
edition. Yeah.
Because you've also got the people that check your bags and things at the front. Yeah. And then he goes up to one of the workers. What's the deal with all the police? Well, you don't know. You heard of that guy? The butcher. He's a killer, huh? What do you think, Goofy? Gosh.
Donald Duck's there.
Yeah, doing his thing.
No, he does the thing with the deep fryer. And explodes, and Donald Duck is the one. He's like, just on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that duck got to get a bit of deep frying over there.
And instead of Josh Hartnett stealing an apron to blend in, he just puts on a pair of Mickey Mouses. Oh, he must work here.
Yeah.
Or all the SWAT guys are having their meeting, but they're all undercover, so they're all dressed as different Disney characters. Minnie Mouse is giving the briefing, and
I like to imagine Josh Hartnett. He you know how he steals the earpiece, right?
Yeah.
Well, he steals just the Mickey Mouse head. It's just his body, but Mickey Mouse's head. He's like, I hope no one sees me.
And his daughter's like, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, this is really cool, right?
I found this in a trap door over there. Oh, you should have been there. Those are really cool costumes.
They're lining up for Space Mountain. Hey, there's a trap door down there. I bet there's some really cool anthropomorphic mice down there. Should we go there?
Is there a moment where they do the stage show and Mickey Mouse is doing this all song and dance thing, and then the daughter gets to go up and dance with Mickey Mouse, and he's just standing there, and no one notices that guy could be the serial killer, just like in the original movie,
just like in the 2024 movie Trap, starring Josh Hartnett. And
who's the profiler? There's got to be a character we can make him profiler.
Oh, apart from the big
there's
characters,
a detective.
I don't really know.
There's the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, the Great Mouse. They could have the same accent then, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Dawson. Yes. Because then you could have him and Dawson, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
And then eventually Josh Hartnett is so like disheveled that he becomes Josh Rattigan. And he's...
Yeah, and that's another spin-off movie.
There we go.
Right, I think we've done it.
Yeah, we've done it. Perfect.
3 out of 3. Knocked it out of the park.
Bam. Hat trick.
Bam.
Nectar points.
This podcast was sponsored by Nectar points.
What are they? Who knows? Points for bees?
And then do the Elmer Fudd thing. Do it.
Okay. They're points for bees. What are nectar points? I'm caught in a trap.
Do the laugh again. Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.